Fire down below. Ha ha! Steven Seagal again. One man, one secret, one chance in hell. What kind of tagline is that? I don't know. But that's the tagline. It's Steven Seagal. Let's get into it. So Fire Down Below is from 1997. It lasts 1 hour 45 minutes. And yes, it stars Steven Seagal. And Chris Christopherson.
That's a little better.
The movie opens with what appears to be Steven Seagal flying into a movie, because as he flies into this small town of Jenkins in Mississippi or Alabama, or I don't remember, who cares? The people of those states do. Yeah, for this movie, doesn't really matter. He's gone into the deep south of America. Right, okay, fair enough. For this movie, I guess it doesn't matter. Steven Seagal flies into town as we see flashbacks of what could have filled another hour of this movie.
I appreciate the friendship. It means a lot to me.
So he's an ETA agent, Environmental Protection Agency, and his colleague came to this town and didn't make it out alive, so he's gone in undercover.
To kick ass.
And his name's Jack Taggart. Yeah, Jack Taggart, EPA Special Agent. The opening is very bizarre with these flashbacks. Yeah, they're all sepia toned. They're like, these happened 100 years ago. No, they only happened last week. Yeah. And it gives a lot of backstory and a little bit of time. They're not like, ooh, that's effective. Just like confusing. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. Anyway, now Jack Taggart is in town. He makes his contact there, who thinks he's just there as a handyman, who's decided to come to this random small town in the deep south just to fix people's porches and things like that.
As if.
This is Pastor Bob, and through Pastor Bob and other townspeople, Jack Taggart discovers that the whole town turn a blind eye. They all know that something's going on though. Toxic waste is being dumped underneath the ground in this town. It's contaminating the water. It's making people ill. Yeah, he needs a little boy who's like really sick, and then later the little boy does something, and it's rubbish. He's just a little boy. He could draw better than that. So we spend a bit of time with Jack Taggart getting acquainted with the town and the townsfolk. Yeah, he goes to this shop, right, and he sees two twin sisters that run the shop, and he starts making sleazy comments. He's the hero! He also meets Mark Hellenberger, the other star of this movie. Her name is Sarah, yeah, and when he hears this, he's like, oh, that's a nice name.
That's a nice name.
He's a creep. I mean, it's Steven Seagal, and since this movie has been made, he has been outed as a major creep, so go ahead. Normally I would say they're just playing a part. They're just doing their best with the role they've been given. But as it's Steven Seagal, have at it. He's a creep. He sure is.
But I'm a creep.
Before too long, Jack Taggart is warned by some local heavies to stop asking questions or he's going to get hurt. Don't they know who he is? He's Jack Taggart. So he's going around town fixing people's porches, fixing their steps, fixing their window frames, being a handyman.
Bob the Builders?
Yeah, because handymen always come round to just fix things for free. From another major city, for no reason at all. Yeah, it's not suspicious at all, is it? It is. Yeah, I was being sarcastic. Oh. And eventually it's a church picnic. At the church picnic, Jack Taggart finds out that there are rumours about Sarah. She's weird.
Jesus Christ, she was a weirdo.
When he looks into it later in the movie, he finds out she was accused of murdering her own father and setting the house on fire. Yeah. Why is she still single? She's such a catch. Also this picnic, some random kid comes up and tells Seagal, you see those hills over there? There are lights on those hills at night. I think it might be spaceships. And Seagal's like, yeah, sure. But anyway, later after the church picnic, Jack Taggart tracks down Sarah, goes to her house and offers to fix her steps. Had you seen Daddy Reindeer? That's how it all starts. Well, anyway, she says no, and he leaves and says, well, the offer's there if you want it. That night, Jack Taggart goes to bed and wakes up in the middle of the night because someone has put a snake in his room. Why? I've got no idea. So he beats it up, and the next day he takes the snake and puts it in the footwell of the bad guy's truck. Yeah, he assumes it's them that did it there. It is confirmed it's them. Good job. He just made a lucky guess. He did, actually. They're not too happy. And while this whole snake sequence is going on, there's a song playing. This song is called Snake in the Grass. But later on, we'll see some more music, which might be not worse, but just more surprising. Yeah, Steven Seagal plays guitar. Do you know he's got an album out? Yeah, I heard this. Actually, he's got a couple of albums. Let's listen right now. So we find out these bad guys, these hoods, they work for Oren and his son, Oren Jr. Oren is played by Chris Christopherson. Oren Jr. is just a guy. Well, he's a young guy. He looks after things while Oren Sr. is out of town. And Oren Sr. is always out of town. Yeah, always with a different beautiful lady, about half his age. He's a corrupt businessman, and he's charging people millions of dollars to take their nuclear waste from them and dispose of it. But he's disposing of it underground in the small town of Jenkins. Later, Jack Taggart meets Sarah at the store, and she approaches him and says, actually, I would like my steps fixed. Daddy reindeer. So he says, I'll be over soon.
I'll bet.
But before he can get there, he's confronted by a gang of bad guys on the street. Yeah, so he's like, okay, I'll beat you up easily. So he does. He batters on. The fight in this film's quite good. It's quite enjoyable to watch. He beats up these guys, and then a whole load of other guys just randomly appear from nowhere. He beats all of them up as well. like breaks their bones and crushes their noses, smashes their faces in. It's quite brutal. So next morning, Sarah's woken by some banging outside. Yeah, it's like 6 in the morning or something, and he's there, Jack Taggart's there fixing her steps. Let her sleep. I wouldn't be happy if it was that early. He's a clown. Yeah, but anyway, he starts to get close to Sarah. They spend a bit of time together, and that's when he looks into her past. Instantly, he doesn't give her a chance to talk about herself. He just goes on the computer and types in her name and finds out she killed her dad. Later in the movie, Oren Sr. discovers and tells Oren Jr. that Jack Taggart is actually an undercover environmental agent. He's not there just to fix porches, he's there to investigate the toxic waste and the weird kids getting sick.
He's lying.
And that night, Jack Taggart has dinner with Sarah, and Sarah's brother turns up, right? He's this weirdo guy, Earl. He's a bit overpowering with his sister, and he's a bit creepy, he's a bit touchy-feely. And he acts all nice in front of Jack Taggart, and then when he goes, he's like, oh, you're a good girl. Well, not quite, but more or less, he's a creep.
Another one?
And we find out he has been violent to her in the past. He hits her and beats her up and locks her in cupboards and things. Oh dear. And then the next day on the street, Jack Taggart is confronted by the local law enforcement. Yeah, that he's like, right, cards on the table, mate. After he beats and all that, of course. He beats up all the sheriff's deputies and then holds a gun to the sheriff's mouth, and he says, listen, I am an EPA agent and I can have 100 agents crawling all around this town, and you can face the consequences of your action. I know you're bought and sold, I know you're owned by Oren, but I don't care. I'll take you down as quickly as I'll take him down. Yeah, and Sarah sees all this because it's right in the street and she doesn't know what to think, mainly because of Seagal's acting in this scene. Yeah, he's not... But by the next morning, she's forgiven all. She's like, oh well, I still like him. He's like, well, I know you killed your dad, but I still like you. Yeah, they're the perfect couple. But then Jack Taggart's driving home in his little truck, and then this monster truck, not a monster truck, like a big rig, comes chasing after him, starts trying to ram him off the road. That's right, it drives him to a cliffside. He jumps out, and stands in front of the cliff, and the big rig's flying towards him. Yeah, and apparently you can know that the speed of light, because when it's about an inch away from him, he just steps to the side like he's a flash, and avoids it, and the truck goes right over the edge, killing the driver and exploding. Yeah, his first murder in this movie. Yeah, that's right. And then later on there's a big party in town. Yeah, and Oren Sr. arrives, and he speaks to Oren Jr. and then he speaks to Jack Taggart, and he tries to bribe him That's right. And Jack won't take the bribe, of course. Then he tries to threaten him, but he won't take a threat either. No, he won't take a telling. And then Oren leaves, right? And then the church, Taster Dodd's church, turns down. That's right. So the whole town's in a panic. Meanwhile, at Sarah's, Errol beats her up and locks her in the house because he's going to take care of Jack Taggart. Yeah, because he also works for Oren.
Everybody does.
And he takes his car and he drives off and he finds Jack Taggart and he says, listen, get in. I'm going to take you to where you need to go. I'm going to show you all the toxic waste because you're right, something dodgy in this town is going on. Yeah, and he thinks like Jack Taggart thinks he's just being friendly. That, we'll find out in a few minutes, Jack Taggart has figured out everything like an absolute psychic.
I'm getting the word.
Because they get underground, he sees all the toxic waste, and then Earl says, here's a surprise, here's 7 more guys with shotguns. We are going to kill you, because we need to do this to make money, with the families to feed. He singles out one guy and he says, this guy's got children, he needs money, this is the only job we can get. And Jack Taggart kills him. Yeah. He kills them all in a big fight, big fist fight and a gunfight, and then by the end of it, there's only a few standing. But up above, Oren Jr. is setting off some dynamite. Yeah, he's like, right, let's blow up the entrance to this 9 and track everyone underneath. Who cares about them? Yeah, so Jack Taggart somehow manages to escape, but he leaves Errol and his surviving buddies to get crushed by the falling rocks. But before the gunfight, and in front of all of his friends, Jack Taggart says to Earl, you know, I don't think Sarah killed her father. I think you were worse from an early age. I think your father found out about it. He beat you up really bad. So you killed him, and then you convinced Sarah to take the blame because she was a minor. And Earl's like, yet, I'll confess to that in front of my friends. I'm sure they won't judge me too harshly. They don't even react. They just try and help him to kill Jack Taggart. I don't know how Jack Taggart figured that out. He's just that good. The next day, Jack Taggart is back at Sarah's. He's got her out the house, and he said, you'll never have to worry about Earl again. Jack's boss arrives in town. Yep, and Jack instantly has him arrested because he knows he's crooked and he's taken tea off from Oren. Yep. And then Jack heads to the bar where Oren Jr. and all his mates hang out. Yeah, it's all these guns and there's that big giant guy, and he's like... Jack Taggart calls him a tintle. A pimple. He says, don't hide behind that big pimple. Then he proceeds to beat everyone up. Yeah, he knocks this guy's teeth out, right? And the guy's like, you gotta have more than that, son. And keeps on fighting. He should be the hero of the movie. If I get my teeth knocked out in a fight, I think I would say, right, fair enough. I'm not fighting anymore. This guy's a hero. And once all the bad guys are beaten up, Oren Jr. is intimidated enough to say that he will take the witness stand and confess against his father and tell all in court. Yeah, and I'm sure by the time they get to court, he'll stick to his word.
You can trust him.
After this, Jack Taggart takes a trip. I think it's to Las Vegas. Think so. He goes to a casino and he dates off all the security there who are just doing their jobs.
Just as he does every day.
Yeah, and then he beats up Oren's private security. Yeah, pretty cool fight. Yes. Again, the fights in this movie are pretty good. It's just the rest of the movie. Eventually, Jack Taggart finds Oren Sr. in a private room playing poker with some guys. The guys all get up and leave. Jack Taggart has a couple of FBI enforcers with him. Oren pulls out a gun and shoots the enforcers. Yet, well done. Now you're done for murder as well. And then he tries to shoot Jack Taggart, but of course Jack Taggart's too good.
Obviously.
No one hits him, no one touches him, no one hurts Steven Seagal in the movies. But Jack Taggart eventually shoots Oren. He shoots him in the shoulder or something, and Oren's like, oh, I'm still alive, asshole. And then Jack Taggart goes into a big scene about gay panic. And basically says, well, did I keep you alive by mistake, or is it because I want you to meet my friend Bubba or something in prison?
I'm still alive, asshole.
I know you're alive, Oren. Now that could be because I'm a bad shot. Or it could be that I'm a good shot and I just wanted you to meet Tyrone.
Who likes to have sex with white men. The 90s. A glorious time. Jack Taggart returns to Sarah, they embrace, and that's the end of the movie. Yeah. And as the end credits roll, we are played out with a lovely little song by another one of the movie's co-stars who I didn't mention, Harry Dean Stanton.
The legend.
Anyway, that's fire down below. What do you think of it? Absolute rubbish. You're the same, I guess? Well, yeah, what? Well, I've got a bit of a soft spot for this movie. This is one of the movies I had on VHS back in the day as a teenager, and I really enjoyed it back then. I loved the fight scenes. I thought the action was good. I didn't really pay much attention to the acting, clearly, if you didn't think it's Dad Navy. I thought it was alright. And what do you think now watching it again? It's not great. The action's good. It's rubbish. It's rubbish, it's rubbish, it's rubbish. Good fights, that's it. Good cast. There are some good actors here, but they just don't get a chance to do anything other than, oh, look how great Steven Seagal is. Oh, he's so sexy. He's so handsome. He's so hard. He's so tough. No one can touch him. He's the best. Enjoy this song.
As I sat here alone in the moonlight, I see your smiling face.
Hit like, hit subscribe. Watch another video, please, and I'll see you next time.
Don't hide behind that big old pimple.